Hello students, welcome back. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about the main medium mode of frequency distribution. And under this, we are going to look at what is frequency distribution, the mean of frequency distribution, the median of frequency distribution, and the mode of frequency distribution. The big question is, what is frequency distribution? Frequency distribution is a way of organizing data to show how often each value appears in a set. This implies that frequency distribution shows the numbers of times each element in our data set appears. Are you getting it? The frequency distribution shows the numbers of times each element in our data set appears. Are you getting it? A typical example of frequency distribution is given below. This frequency distribution shows the numbers of students and the scores that each student has in a physics examination. From this frequency distribution, 4 students scores 25, 5 students scores 30, and the numbers of students that score 35 is 3. The numbers of students that score 40 is 5. Therefore, frequency distribution tells us the numbers of time each data or element appears in our data set. Are you getting it? From this frequency distribution, you can see that the numbers of students that has 25 mark is 4. You can see. So let's proceed to the mean of frequency distribution. How do we calculate the mean of frequency distribution? The mean of frequency distribution is calculated using this formula: summation fx all over summation f, where summation fx is the sum of the product of frequency and the corresponding value of x, and summation f is the sum of the frequency. Are you getting it? So let's look at some work example on mean of frequency distribution. Example 1. Find the mean of the frequency distribution below. We have the scores of students and we have the numbers of students that has each score. Let's find the mean of this frequency distribution. The first step is that we are going to construct our table. Okay, so the scores is x, and the numbers of students is f. Are you getting what I'm saying? So the scores is x and the numbers of students is f, because from this frequency distribution we can see that 3 students scores 30, 21 students scores 35, 46 students score 40, 18 students score 45, and 12 students score 50. So frequency distribution tells us the numbers of time our data occurs. Now let us proceed. Don't forget, from the formula of mean, the mean of frequency distribution is given by this formula: mean is equals to summation fx all over summation f, where summation fx is the sum of the product of our frequency and scores. Are you getting it? Please, I want you to pay attention. And summation f is the summation, that is the sum of all our frequency. Now I told you that the scores is x. Now let us list it. We have 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. Then for numbers of students we have 3. We have 21 here. Then I'm going to have 46. For this I'm going to have 18. And I'm going to have 12. You understand? So according to this formula, I need to find the product of x and the frequency. Are you getting it? I need to find the product of x and the frequency. So for this cell now, let me put it fx. So for this cell, I'm going to have 30 multiplied by 33. 30 multiplied by 3, that is 90. You understand? For these cells, I'm going to have 35 multiplied by 21, 735. 40 multiplied by 46, 1820. 45 multiplied by 18, that is 810. So 50 multiplied by 12, that is 600. So you can see mean is equals to summation fx all over summation f. That is, after taking the product of f and x, I'm going to take the sum. Are you getting it? So I'm going to have the sum in this place. The sum. So if you add summation fx, if you add all the values of fx, if you add it together, we are going to get 4075. So, and if you add all the values of the frequency that we have in the question, you're going to get 100. So we can make use of the formula for mean, because I've already calculated the sum of the product of frequency and x and some of the frequencies that I have. So I can proceed to calculate the value of mean of this frequency distribution is equals to summation fx, which is 4075 all over summation f. Summation f is 100, so I'm going to have 100. So the mean of this distribution is equals to 40.75. You understand? So we have calculated the mean of the frequency distribution of numbers of students and this course. So let's proceed to example 2. Find the mean of the distribution. We have the scores and the frequency of the distribution respectively. So we are still going to use the same approach that we used in our previous example. Okay, I've already arranged the scores. The scores is the values that we have here. That is the value of x. Are you getting what I'm saying? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 7, 8. Have you seen? So now let us arrange the frequency. This will be the column for the frequency. So I'm going to have frequency here. 3, 4, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You understand? So, according to the formula of mean, I need to take the product of f and x. So, I'm going to have another column which will be for f and x. So, let us take the product of frequency and scores. So, I'm going to have 3 times 1, that is 3. 4 times 2, that is 8. 3 times 3, that is 9. 6 times 4, 24. 5 times 5, 25. 6 times 4, that is 24. 7 times 3, that is 21. 8 times 2, that is 16. You understand? So let us take the summation of f and x. Don't forget, according to the mean formula, that is summation fx all over summation f, in order to find the mean of frequency distribution. So I'm going to have, if you sum all this together, we're going to get 130. You understand? So we have gotten this. Now let us sum all the values in our frequencies. If you add all these values together, we're going to get 30. So summation f is what? 30. And summation fx is what? 130. So the mean of this frequency distribution is equals to 130, which is summation fx. 130 all over summation f. Summation f is what? 30. So 130 all over 30. So the mean of this frequency distribution is, if you divide 130 divided by 30, that is 4.3. So the mean of this frequency distribution is 4.3. So let's proceed to example 3. So let us attempt example 3. I've already written the scores. The scores is the value of x. Are you getting it? So let us write for the numbers of students. I'm going to have another column that will stand for numbers of students. The first cell, second cell, third, fourth, and 2. So now we are still going to follow the same approach. According to the formula of mean, I need to take the product of the frequency, which is the numbers of students, and the scores of students. Are you getting it? So I'm going to have another column here which stands for what? Fx. So I'm going to have 5 multiplied by 2, that is 10. 4 multiplied by 3, that is 12. 5 multiplied by 6, this is 30. 6 multiplied by 4, that is 24. 7 multiplied by 2, that is 14. Okay, so now according to the formula of mean, I still need to take the summation of all the value of fx. Are you getting it? because mean is equals to summation fx all over summation f. So the summation of all the value of x is when you add all the value of maybe 10, 12, 30, and 24 and 14 together, you're going to get 30. Are you getting it? So if you add all these values, you're going to get 90 rather. You're going to get 90. So the value here will be what? 90. Now, according to naming formula, I still also need to take the summation of all the value of f. So if you have all these values together, you are going to get what? 20. So summation f is 20, while summation fx is what? 90. So the mean of this frequency distribution can be calculated as what? Summation fx, which is what? 90 all over summation f, which is what? 20. So the mean of this formula, the mean of this frequency distribution is what? 4.5. The mean of the frequency distribution is what? 4.5. So let us proceed to example 4. Okay. The mean of the below frequency distribution is 1.5. Find the value of p. Okay, don't forget that the mean has been given as 1.5. So now let us construct our table. The first is what? Scores. And scores are what? 0, p, and 3. So 0, p, and 3. And numbers of students, which is the frequency. The frequency is what? 2, 3, and 1. So I'm going to have 2, 3, and 1. Okay, so you can represent this as frequency. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? You can put this as frequency instead of numbers of students, because we have frequency on the table. So I'm going to change it now. Let us proceed. So since we have been given the mean of the frequency distribution, therefore we are going to use the formula of mean to determine the value of p. Abi, don't forget that we are told to find the value of p. Okay, so now don't forget, from the formula of mean, we need the summation of fx. So I'm going to have another column which will be for what? The product of what? Fx. So I'm going to have 2 multiplied by 0, that is 0. 3 multiplied by p, that is 3p. You understand? So 3 multiplied by 1, that is 3. You understand? So the summation of this will be what? 3p plus 3. You understand? So from the formula of mean, I still need the summation of what? Frequency. So if you sum all this together, we are going to have 6. So now we can determine the value of p. Now we can determine the value of p by making use of the formula of mean. Are you getting it? Now we can determine the value of p using the mean formula. Are you getting it? So mean is what? Summation fx all over summation f, and summation fx is what? 3p plus 3. So mean, which is what? 1.5. 1.5 is equals to summation fx, that is 3p plus 3 all over summation f. Summation f is 6, so all over 6. So if you cross multiply, we are going to have 1.5 multiplied by 6 is equals to 3p plus 3. You understand? 1.5 multiplied by 6, that is 9. So 9 is equals to 3p plus 3. If you by transposition, I'm going to have 3p plus 3 is equals to 9. So 3p is equals to 9 minus 3. 3p is equals to 6. So therefore p is equals to 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 3, p is equals to what? 2. You understand? So the value of p for this frequency distribution is 2. Example 5. The table below shows the distribution of scores of students in a test. If the mean score is 3.5, find the value of x. Don't forget, the first step is that you are going to prepare your tables. Are you getting it? So I have my tables. I've already written the scores. The scores are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me write the frequency of each scores. So for the frequency of 1, that is 1. For 2, that is 4. X. Then 6, 2, then 2. Okay, so what is fx? We have to take the product of the scores and the frequency. So for this, I'm going to have 1 multiplied by 1, that is 1. 2 multiplied by 4, that is 8. 3 multiplied by x, that is 3x. Are you following? 4 multiplied by 6, that is 24. 5 multiplied by 2, that is 10. 6 multiplied by 2, that is 12. So now I want you to pay attention here. Don't forget that we are only looking for the value of x. we have been given the value of mean. Are you getting it? But in order to calculate the value of x, since we know the value of mean, we are going to make use of the formula of mean. Are you getting it? Which is what? Summation fx all over summation f. So I'm going to find summation fx, which is the sum of all the values in this column. If you take the sum of all the values in that column, you are going to get 3x plus 55. So the value of that, the value for this will be what? 3x plus 55. You understand? 3x plus 55. So let us take the value of this column also. 1 plus 4 plus x plus 6 plus 2 plus 2. That will be what? X plus 15. You understand? So summation fx is what? 3x plus 55. While summation f is what? X plus 15. Now I can proceed to use the formula of mean to calculate the value of x. Since mean has been given as 3.5, so I'm going to have 3.5 is equals to summation fx, which is what? 3x plus 55. That is 3x plus 55 all over summation f, which is the sum of all the frequencies. So that will be x plus 5. 3x plus 55 all over x plus x plus 15, not x plus 5. That is x plus 15, okay? So from this point, I can cross multiply. So I'm going to have this over 1. So this will come to this and this will come to this. So I'm going to have 3.5 all into bracket x plus 15 is equals to 3x plus 55. Do you understand? If you didn't understand, you can pause the video and just go back a bit. Are you getting it? Don't forget, from the question, we have been given that the mean of this frequency distribution is what? 3.5. And from the formula of mean, the formula of mean is given by this, summation fx all over summation f. Now, we are asked to calculate the value of x. In order to calculate the value of x, we have to make use of the main formula. Why? Because we have been given the formula of, we have been given the mean of the frequency distribution, and that's all I've done. That's all the thing I did, okay? So now let us proceed. Multiply 3.5 multiplied by x, that is 3.5x plus 3.5 multiplied by 15, that is 52.5 is equals to 3x plus 55. Do you understand? So now, the next step is that we are going to collect like terms. Are you getting it? So, you know that I have 3.5x here and I have 3x here. If 3x cross to the other side, so I'm going to have 3.5x minus 3x is equals to 55. If 52.5 cross to the other side, I'm going to have minus 52.5. You understand? So for this, I'm going to have 3.5x minus 3. That is what? 0.5x is equals to 2.5. Are you getting it? So the next step is that we are going to divide both sides by what? 0.5 all over 0.5. So therefore, x is equals to 5. So the value of x is what? 5, which is the value we are asked to calculate. So from this frequency distribution, we have been able to determine the value of x when we are given the value of the unknown in the frequency distribution when we are given the mean of the frequency distribution using the what? Main formula. So let us proceed to the median of frequency distribution, okay? However, before we proceed to median of frequency distribution, I have some work that I want you to attempt. We have question number 1. The table above shows the test scores of students in a class. If the average score is 2.2, find the value of y. If you calculate the value of y, you should get 9. Your y should be 9 if you calculate it accurately. You understand? So I want you to attempt this question, and also I want you to attempt the second question, which is the table below shows the distribution of some scores. Find the mean of the frequency distribution. The mean is 4.0. For question number 2, the mean is 4.0, and for question number 1, the value of y is 9. So you can attempt this at your own pace, okay? So that is just a practice question, okay? Okay, let's talk.